When I was younger, I believed in the power of words, throwing them around like swords, thinking they'd always win battles for me. But life has a way of humbling us. There came a day when I realized that silence, intentional, measured silence, can be the most powerful response of all. Because sometimes the best thing you can say is nothing at all. We live in a world that often equates silence with submission, with powerlessness, with losing. We're taught from a young age to speak up, defend yourself, and never let anyone walk over you. And while there is undeniable strength in using your voice, true wisdom lies in knowing when to use it and when to withhold it. Silence is not the absence of power, it's the presence of control. It's the ability to stand in the storm of conflict, accusation, or provocation and choose not to react out of impulse, but rather out of intention. It's understanding that your energy is valuable and not every battle is worth fighting. Think about the moments when people expect you to lash out, to argue, to explain, to beg for understanding. That's where your silence becomes a tool, a shield, a declaration of self-respect. Because silence does not mean you don't have something to say. It means you know that saying it won't change the outcome. Because wisdom is knowing that not every fight needs your participation. It's recognizing that your time and energy are better spent on things that nourish your soul rather than drain it. It's the maturity to understand that people will see what they want to see, and sometimes the best way to prove them wrong is to let them watch as you grow, watch as life corrects the imbalance in ways that words never could. So the next time someone tries to pull you into a battle that does not serve you, remember this: silence is not you losing the fight. Silence is you walking away from a war that was never worth your time to begin with. There is a powerful kind of wisdom in knowing when to stand your ground and when to walk away. We often feel like we have to correct every misconception, respond to every insult, and fight to be understood. But the truth is, not every battle is yours to fight. Some battles are distractions designed to pull you away from your purpose. Some battles are traps meant to drain your energy and keep you stuck in a cycle of anger and frustration. And some battles, no matter how much you fight, will never be won with words or resistance because they are not about you at all. They are about the other person's insecurities, their wounds, their need to project their pain onto someone else. Imagine you're walking down the road and a stranger yells something insulting at you. You have two choices. You can stop, turn around and engage, spending your energy proving something to someone who doesn't truly matter, or you can keep walking, knowing that their words do not define you. The same principle applies to life's bigger conflicts. Every time you stop to fight an unnecessary battle, you delay your own journey. You lose precious time, peace, and focus that could have been spent on something meaningful. It's not about letting people win. It's about understanding that not every fight is yours to win. There are times when silence is the strongest response. When stepping away is the greatest power move, when allowing karma, time, and truth to unfold naturally will do more than any argument ever could. So ask yourself before engaging, is this battle worth my peace? Will winning this argument actually change anything? Am I fighting because I need to or just because my ego wants me to? When you learn to walk away from the battles that do not serve your growth, you will find yourself with more energy for the ones that truly matter, the ones that align with your values, your purpose, your future, the ones that deserve your strength because they build something instead of just tearing things down. Not every battle is yours to fight, so choose wisely. Choose peace, choose progress. Choose to let go when it's time, because in the end, the strongest people aren't the ones who fight the most battles. They're the ones who know when to walk away. Imagine waking up every day with a set amount of energy, like money in a bank account. Every thought you entertain, every conversation you engage in, and every emotion you feel is a withdrawal from that account. The question is, are you spending it wisely? Too often, we exhaust ourselves on things that don't add value to our lives. We spend our energy worrying about people who don't care about us, arguing with those who refuse to listen, and holding on to grudges that only weigh us down. We invest in conflicts that bring no resolution, in relationships that do not reciprocate, and in proving ourselves to those who have already decided who they think we are. And what happens when we do this? We find ourselves drained, exhausted, running on empty, wondering why we feel so depleted, why our goals feel so far away, and why we're stuck in cycles that don't serve us. The truth is, your energy is your most valuable currency. You can't afford to waste it on things that don't nourish your soul, support your growth, or bring you peace. You must be intentional about where and with whom you invest it. Think of the things that fuel you, your passions, your dreams, your health, your joy, your peace. These are the things that deserve your time and energy. These are the things that multiply when you pour into them. When you focus your energy on what truly matters, you stop feeling drained and start feeling fulfilled. But this requires discipline. It requires saying no to unnecessary drama, walking away from toxic situations, and protecting your mind from negativity. It requires understanding that just because something demands your attention doesn't mean it deserves it. Not everything needs a reaction. Not every person deserves a response. Not every problem is yours to fix. So the next time you feel your energy slipping away into something that doesn't serve you, ask yourself, is this worth my time? Will this matter a year from now? Does this bring me closer to the life I want to live? If the answer is no, let it go. Protect your energy like the treasure it is, because once it's spent, you can't get it back. Spend it wisely. Spend it on growth. Spend it on things that bring light into your life, because where you invest your energy will ultimately shape the life you live. There are moments in life when we feel the weight of injustice, when we've been wronged, betrayed, or disrespected. And every fiber of our being wants to fight back. We want to set the record straight, expose the truth, and make sure that the people who hurt us feel the consequences of their actions. It's human nature to crave fairness. But here's the hard truth. Not everything needs your intervention. Not every injustice needs to be corrected by your hands, because there is something greater at work, something unseen, something patient, something precise. Karma. Karma sees what you don't. It sees the lies told behind your back. It sees the manipulation, the selfishness, the hidden motives. It sees the things you didn't catch, the things you weren't meant to see. And while it may feel in the moment like the universe is letting these people get away with it, know this: no one truly escapes the energy they put into the world. People can fake kindness, fake innocence, even fake remorse, but they cannot fake their energy. And eventually that energy will come back to them in ways they least expect. Karma is not punishment. Karma is balance. It is the natural order of things, the invisible force that corrects what we cannot. It's why people who thrive on hurting others always seem to meet their downfall in unexpected ways. It's why those who act with integrity, even when it's hard, always seem to find their way toward something greater. It's why you don't have to chase revenge, because life has a way of making sure that what's meant to return, returns. So what should you do? Let go of the need to control the outcome. Let go of the desire to make sure they learn their lesson. The lesson will come, just not on your timeline. Trust that karma works in ways you may never witness, but that doesn't mean it isn't happening. Some people will lose friendships, opportunities, and peace of mind, and you won't even know about it. But trust me, it's happening. And while karma is handling them, focus on you, focus on your healing, focus on moving forward. Because the greatest revenge is not watching someone suffer. It's no longer caring if they do. So remember, you don't have to see justice happen for it to be real. Karma is always working, even when you can't see it. And in the end, life has a way of making sure everyone meets the energy they put out into the world. We live in a world that glorifies noise. People believe that the louder they speak, the more they will be heard, that the more they argue, the more they will be right, that the more they explain, the more they will be understood. But the truth is, silence can be louder than words. Silence is powerful. It speaks in ways that words never can. It can be a statement, a boundary, a response, or even a form of resistance. And sometimes it is the most effective way to communicate what needs to be said. Think about the last time someone provoked you, whether it was an unfair accusation, an unnecessary insult, or an attempt to pull you into a pointless argument. Your first instinct was probably to respond, to defend yourself, to prove them wrong. But imagine if, instead of reacting, you simply remained silent. No anger, no justification, no engagement, just silence. What happens in that moment? The other person expects a fight. They expect validation for their negativity. But when you give them nothing, they are left to wrestle with their own words. Your silence becomes the loudest message of all. It says, I refuse to entertain this energy. Silence is a response, and sometimes it's the most powerful one. When you walk away from unnecessary drama without a word, it leaves an impact. And when you don't explain yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you, it shows confidence. When you stop trying to force people to see your worth and instead let them feel your absence, you reclaim your power. But silence isn't just about avoiding conflict. It's also a tool for self-mastery. The ability to remain silent in certain situations takes incredible strength. It takes discipline to resist the urge to argue, patience to allow things to unfold naturally, and wisdom to know when words will only make things worse. It takes self-control to recognize that not everything deserves a reaction, and that sometimes the best thing you can do for your own peace is to say nothing at all. Silence demands reflection. When you stop talking, you start listening, both to others and to yourself. You gain clarity. You begin to see things as they really are rather than how your emotions interpret them in the moment. You give yourself the space to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Silence creates curiosity. When you remain quiet, people wonder what you're thinking. They start to question their own words and actions. Sometimes the most unsettling thing for someone is not your retaliation, but your stillness, because silence forces them to sit with their own behavior. Silence is dignity. It says, I don't need to prove myself to you. I don't need to lower myself to your level. I don't need to beg for understanding. It's a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any argument ever could. So the next time you feel the urge to speak, to fight, to defend, ask yourself, will my words add value or will they drain me? If your words won't bring clarity, resolution, or growth, consider this. Silence may be the better choice, because in a world full of noise, the most powerful voice is sometimes the one that chooses to remain silent. There is an undeniable power in knowing when to hold back, when to pause instead of reacting, when to listen instead of speaking, when to walk away instead of engaging in battles that serve no purpose. This ability to restrain yourself is not a sign of weakness or passivity. It is a sign of immense strength. Because true growth does not come from doing more. It often comes from doing less. We live in a world that tells us to chase every opportunity, respond to every challenge, and defend ourselves at every turn. But maturity teaches us something different. Restraint is not about inaction, it's about intentional action. It's about choosing your battles wisely, protecting your peace, and understanding that not every situation requires your involvement. Restraint builds emotional strength. Imagine someone insults you, provokes you, or spreads falsehoods about you. Your immediate reaction might be to defend yourself, to prove them wrong, to make them see your side. But here's the truth. People who are committed to misunderstanding you will not suddenly start seeing the light just because you explained yourself. Restraint in this case is recognizing that your energy is precious. Instead of arguing, you step back. Instead of proving a point, you let time and action speak. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond with wisdom, or you choose not to respond at all. This kind of restraint takes far more strength than any impulsive reaction ever could. It's easy to lose your temper. It's easy to fire back. But it takes true growth to say, this is not worth my energy. I refuse to be controlled by the actions of others. Restraint creates clarity. When we rush into things, decisions, arguments, relationships, or even opportunities, we often make choices from a place of impulse rather than wisdom. Restraint allows us to slow down. It gives us the space to think, reflect, and assess the situation before acting. Many of life's biggest mistakes happen because we fail to pause. We speak before thinking, we react before understanding, we commit before we are ready. But when we practice restraint, we create room for better decisions, wiser choices, and deeper understanding. Restraint protects your energy. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your voice. Not every problem is yours to solve. Restraint helps you conserve your energy for what truly matters, your growth, your goals, your well-being. Every time you hold yourself back from unnecessary drama, you are investing in your own peace. Every time you choose to walk away from negativity, you are strengthening your emotional intelligence. Every time you refuse to let someone else's actions control your reaction, you are stepping into a more powerful version of yourself. Restraint leads to mastery. Growth is not just about what you do, it's about what you stop doing. It's about mastering your emotions, your impulses, your need for validation. It's about learning that real strength comes from discipline, not dominance. A person who has mastered restraint does not need to prove their worth. They do not need to argue every point. They do not need to seek revenge or validation. They simply trust that everything will unfold as it should, and they choose to focus on what truly matters. Final thought growth happens when you learn to pause, to breathe, to step back, to choose how you respond rather than letting the world dictate it for you. Restraint is not about silence or inaction. It's about choosing what is worth your energy and what isn't. So the next time you feel the urge to react, ask yourself, will this bring me closer to the person I want to become? If the answer is no, take a step back, breathe, let go. Because in that moment of restraint, you are growing. In a world that tells us to always speak up, fight back, and prove our worth, it takes true wisdom to understand that silence is not weakness, it's power. Knowing when to stay quiet, when to walk away, and when to let karma handle what words cannot is a form of self-mastery that few ever achieve. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every conflict deserves your energy. Not every wrong needs to be corrected by your hands. Growth is not always about action. It is often about restraint. It is about knowing that your energy is precious, that your peace is priceless, and that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. Karma sees what you don't. Justice will unfold in ways you may never witness. And while it may be tempting to seek revenge, to explain yourself, to make others see the truth, remember this: your time is better spent on your growth, your purpose, and your peace. In the end, silence can be louder than words. Restraint can be more powerful than reaction. And letting go is often the greatest act of strength. So choose your battles wisely, invest your energy carefully, and trust that what is meant for you will never miss you. Because when you master the art of knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, you step into a life of greater wisdom, peace, and unshakable strength.